every time you think those negative thoughts, you give them space and energy, you're taking away that space and energy from something else like your dreams, thinking about your dreams, thinking about taking action, what kind of action you can take on them, actually taking that action. Because it's not like that we have limitless time and energy, we don't. So every time we give space to the negative voice, we take away the power of the positive, empowering voice, the one that believes in us. Welcome everyone to LifewithLiza podcast. Our mission at LifewithLiza is to share people's stories and the challenges that they have overcome, so that those who are listening in can get the strength, the courage, and the hope to be their better selves. And something that I wanted to share with you is some of the mind tricks that I learned and I noticed myself doing, and it was really working for me so well, and I want to share them with you as well because they are literally lifesavers. But before I do that, I wanted to mention something about the chatter that's going on in our minds. You know, that voice that says things, and sometimes those things are just the meanest things they will ever hear. That voice in your head that doubts you, the voice in your head that says that you'll never make it. And so many people just accept that voice, that it will always be there, and they don't do anything to stop it. And what I noticed, what I started doing, one of the biggest mind tricks that I did, and it worked for me so well, is that I understood that not only there is such a voice in my head and I'm aware of it, and I'm aware of what it's saying, and I can also control it, and I can also give it less space to talk, and I can give more space to the other voice in my mind that's actually encouraging and is actually helping me to achieve my goals, to go for my goals. So the trick is just hilarious. Let's say I'm reading a book and then my mind starts wandering off somewhere else. And then as a punishment, what I would do is I would say to myself, okay, if you do this again and you start wandering off, I will just read that paragraph now 4 times instead of just once. And I would do that. And then my mind would stop wandering off and having thoughts when I was reading. I would be able to keep my concentration. And then another example would be, let's say I wake up and the thought pops in my mind, should I work out today? Should I do it? Should I not do that? And if I start even entertaining that thought, what I would do, I would say, okay, now I'm doubling my workout, because you had that thought and you started entertaining that thought. And I noticed that the more I do that, and if I actually persevere in terms of doubling my workout, the less of those kind of thoughts I start getting, because my mind realized that there is no point in having those negative thoughts because I will not listen to them. We will do that workout regardless. There is no point in wasting your time and energy into even about thinking about that thought. Interesting, right? Because every time you think those negative thoughts, you give them space and energy, you're taking away that space and energy from something else like your dreams, thinking about your dreams, thinking about taking action, what kind of action you can take on them, actually taking that action. Because it's not like that we have limitless time and energy, we don't. So every time we give space to the negative voice, we take away the power of the positive, empowering voice, the one that believes in us. So by doing those kind of small punishments, saying to myself, oh yeah, if you think that thought again, we were gonna double workout, I was able to control that chatter in my mind, and I noticed that there are less and less of those negative thoughts that would actually stop me from taking that hard action. So the thoughts that we have and the chatter that we have in our minds might seem that it's something is just completely outside of our control. And I would say if you do want to also start mastering the conversation that you have in your own mind, there are 2 steps that I would recommend that I personally taken that worked for me so well. And I hope that they also do the same for you if you are willing to commit and your time and energy into doing that. So the first step that I've taken was I wanted to become more aware of the thoughts that I'm having, and one of the greatest tools to do so is meditation and journaling, and just sitting down in a quiet place and listening to your own thoughts, because you'd be surprised, so often you would have some thoughts that you'd never even realized you had, but only when you slow down and you sit down in a quiet place you could hear them. And that's the first part. The first part is becoming more aware, building this relationship with yourself and understanding yourself, listening to what kind of thoughts you're having. And then once you're able to spot them and realize that they're there, you're already halfway through. Because so many times, myself included, when I meditated, I was shocked by the thoughts. And I consider myself quite an aware person, so that was very humbling to realize that how unaware I am of so many things that are going on in my head. So I would definitely recommend that first step. And then as the second part, once you become aware of your thoughts, you can also try plant more of the seeds for good thoughts. Let me define the good ones. The good ones are the ones that help you achieve your goals, help you create the life that you want to create. And then to remove those weeds from your garden, the garden of your mind, of the negative thoughts. And if you want, you can try the same trick that I just told you, the hilarious one. When your mind starts saying, oh, but can you really do it? Do it twice. Or when your mind tries to convince you to do something lazy or something that's bad for you, it's like, really? Are you saying we should do this? And then double down on the good one or on the hard one. And then your mind will learn what kind of thoughts you accept and what kind of conversation is acceptable in your mind, because you are the master. You can control your own thoughts. Don't let the chatter in your mind overpower you. And if you do those two steps, if you first become more aware of your own thoughts, and second, you start consciously planting the good thoughts and de-weeding the negative ones, you will see the biggest difference in your life. Because everything in life starts just with a thought, and then it determines what kind of actions we take, and then it determines in what kind of reality we live. It's very important. So start with your thoughts. You have that power over the chatter that's going on in your mind, and make sure it's the one that actually helps you achieve your goals. I hope you did enjoy this episode, and if you did, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I see you in the next episode.